Have you ever made a decision that felt right in the moment, but later made you wonder, why did I even choose that? Not because you lacked intelligence, but because something else was quietly deciding for you. Søren Kierkegaard called this feeling the dizziness of freedom. The anxiety of choice doesn't come from confusion. It comes from realizing you are completely responsible. But here's the twist. Your brain was never designed to choose truth. It was designed to choose safety. And sometimes, those are not the same thing. In 1951, psychologist Solomon Asch conducted a famous experiment to understand how much people are influenced by others. He placed one real participant in a room with several other people, but what the participant didn't know was that everyone else in the room were actors. They were shown two cards. One card had a single line, and the other had 3 lines of different lengths. The task was simple. Choose which of the 3 lines matches the first one. The correct answer was obvious. But here's where it gets interesting. One by one, the actors in the room deliberately gave the wrong answer. Now, the real participant had a choice: trust their own eyes or go along with the group. And surprisingly, many people chose to agree with the group, even though they knew it was wrong. Not because they couldn't see the answer, but because they didn't want to stand alone. Why? Because your brain treats social rejection like physical danger. Neuroscience shows that exclusion activates the same pain centers as a broken bone. So, when you disagree with the group, your brain doesn't say, "You're right." It says, "You might not belong." And belonging, historically, meant survival. This is called social proof. We assume if many people believe something, it must be correct. But here's the danger. Popularity is not evidence. Consensus is not truth. That's why bubbles form. Why misinformation spreads. Why entire groups can be confidently wrong. The real skill isn't intelligence. It's the ability to say, everyone agrees, and everyone might still be wrong. Now, even when you escape the crowd, there's a second trap waiting. Your own past decisions. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. When your beliefs and reality don't match, your brain feels tension. And instead of updating your beliefs, it often distorts reality. Why? Because being wrong isn't just uncomfortable, it threatens your identity. This is why people defend bad decisions, double down when proven wrong. Not because they're irrational, but because their brain is protecting their ego. Karl Popper offered a radical alternative. He said, "A good thinker doesn't try to prove themselves right. They actively try to prove themselves wrong, because every belief you hold is just a temporary model of reality. And outdated models lead to bad decisions. So, the question isn't, am I right? It's, what would prove me wrong?" That single shift can upgrade how you think forever. Now imagine you've done both. You've resisted the crowd. You've updated your beliefs. There's still one final pressure left. Other people. Because the moment you think independently, you become unpredictable. And people don't like unpredictability. So they label you inconsistent, confused, wrong. Not because you are, but because you've stopped being easy to categorize. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes practical. Marcus Aurelius divided life into 2 parts: what you control, your thoughts, actions, decisions, and what you don't, other people's opinions, reactions, judgments. Most people reverse this. They sacrifice their thinking to control how they're perceived. But here's the truth. The more you optimize for approval, the less accurate your decisions become. Because now you're not choosing what's true. You're choosing what's acceptable. And those are rarely the same. So, what does a good decision actually look like? It's not perfect. It's not certain. It's not even always right. A good decision is simply this. It's aligned with reality, based on what you know right now. And to get there, you need 3 disciplines. First, notice when your thinking is influenced by the crowd. Second, actively challenge your own beliefs, not once, but repeatedly. And third, detach your decisions from the need for approval, because clarity doesn't come from more information. It comes from removing distortion. So next time you're at a crossroads, ask yourself, am I choosing this because it's true or because it's comfortable?